Alright, so with Black Ops 1 and 2 ports coming to PlayStation next month, I'm 100% going to complete some of those 4-player locked Easter eggs that I couldn't do back in the day because I was like, what, 13 years old? I don't have 3 other friends that play Black Ops Zombies, right? But in the meantime, here are 5 types of zombies and some quirks to each of them. The company and last are the classic types of zombies, right? So, how do these even vary, right? Just zombies, in it. But believe it or not, there's 3 main types of these zombies across all of zombies, all the sort of producers of these Call of Duty games, right? So, common in most common type, right, are the yellow-eyed variants. So, these are the variants across all the non-track zombies. So these guys don't sort of change a lot. They have story implications, right? So you see, back in the past, right, the story played like a massive role in the gameplay of actual zombies, right? So, in this instance, Yellow Eyes, they symbolize the zombies being controlled by a character called Samantha Maxis, right? So that's the daughter of the lab partner of one of our main characters who played called Rick Toten, right? He says a lot of weird things. So you probably know it. You probably recognize it, right? So this, of course, changes. The blue eyes only feature in 5 maps, so we've got Moon, Nuketown, Transit, Diarize, and Buried, right? So the yellow to blue eye transition is also a story implication, right? So basically, Richtofen transferred his soul as Samantha Maxis, so it turned from yellow to blue to symbolize his control, right? So that took place in Moon and also on Nuketown, right? So that's those 2 colors, but now we have the red color, right? We have this last variant, which takes place on more maps than we remember, right? So it takes place on loads of maps, actually. So the red eyes, this being on Mob of the Dead, Gorod Krovi, Revelations, Blood of the Dead, Tag the Toten, and then, the Anfang, Terra Maledicta, Kino Numa Reborn, and the Archon, that's the famous one. The meaning of the red eyes, they vary a lot, right? Because the other two, you can really tell who controls them, but this red one sort of varies, man. It's very a bit confusing, right? However, that is not all, right? There are actually 2 more colors. We've got orange, but Maxis takes control in Buried, right? And then white, right? So that's an Alpha Omega, and also the Templars in Origin. So I don't know who's control of them. I don't, maybe just neutral or something. But all right. So you can see even on the base level, just zombies, there's a lot of sort of variety, and we're just on the stage 1, right? Anyways, on to the next one. Zombie variants. No. These are still classic zombies, right? They're just the actual zombies, but they have a little bit of a twist, right? So now you can probably tell from the thumbnail, these are just mostly the elemental guys. So right, if you think the Panzer, the Warding, all of those guys, they're in their own sort of category. These are like literally just variants of zombies. So for example, let's look at the first introduction to zombies. So we've got Shangri-La, right? We've got these wind zombies and napalm zombies, right? So the wind zombie, right? He runs real fast and blinds you, right? So he sort of hits you like a normal zombie, but he runs and blinds you, right? So he's not really a threat. But the second guy is actually a threat, right? So he's a napalm zombie. So he just walks real slow and explodes in your face, right? Pause. And that just leaves the trap behind and kills everything, right? So it's real dangerous. So, but this is where the class really shines with Black Ops 4, right? So, where in all Chaos maps, so not with our original crew, there are 4 elemental zombies in each map, which do different things. So, the most annoying out of all of them are the water zombies. If you know, you know, right? If this thing, right, if it walks near zombies, it gives them increased health and damage, which is just like in a game without Juggernaut, that's just really annoying, right? So then you've got toxic zombies, which all they do is hurt you a little bit when they're close to you. We've got fire zombies, so sort of like a light version of the napalm zombies, right? So from Shang, so just explode right next to you, but doesn't like kill you instantly, right? And then the electric zombie, which like the fire zombie is that copy of this thing in Shang, just blinds you a bit, right? So yeah, basically, the elemental class. It's basically an elemental version of zombies. So that's that. They're all in other games. They take it a bit far, right? So let's take a look at World War Two. This is the one. This is DLC 4. So when you have a few zombies left and around, I'm trying to do some Easter egg steps here, right? And as you can see, this guy spawned in, and all he's doing is killing my own zombies. So that he pushes around forward. So yeah, sometimes they code these guys to do some sort of anti-American activity in my games, it seems. But right. Now on to our third category, right? This is the special zombies. So these are the famous ones everyone knows, right? So this is now where we look at the zombified things that which aren't like based off humans, right? So take a look at our earliest special zombie we've been introduced to is the zombie dogs, right? The hellhounds. So they run real fast, slightly less damage than a zombie, right? But I won't lie, with every entry from World at War to Black Ops 4, they made these guys real easy, right, and to kill. So it's not really a threat as they were in the past, but yeah, just kind of cool still. So I mean, nowadays we have things like spiders, which are the web up the map, right? That block paths off. You got the robots one called Curvy, which kind of just piss you off. I don't know what they do. I mean, I don't know I don't even know how to thematically match the map, but they're just there to zap you or something. You know, the crawling things and the keepers from Revelations. I don't know what they're based off. The crawling things, but They kind of do that variant of attacks that can dash towards you and stuff. Got these bugs that fly around from Shadows of Evil and Revelation. They just fly around and shoot you from a distance. They play slightly different, so these guys aren't really meant to be hard, but sort of make so they don't really pose a real threat. They just slight change of play style to defeat them, right? All right, now on to the big boys, category 4. All right. Second to our most dangerous, right? So these are the mini bosses that spawn into the map, right? Just think, whenever these guys spawn in it, they're meant to divert your attention to dealing with them, so you can't just leave them like the aforementioned the category, right? You can't just leave them around, right? These guys are a real threat, okay? All right, here's an example. So the Panzer Soldat from Origins and DE. So this guy just flies into your game and terrorizes your game, right? Terrorizes everyone, shooting like the blue stuff at you and like setting you on fire. Even with juggling the shield, this guy can like easily take you out. So he's probably one of the easier ones even. So the Magua from Shadows is actually just bulletproof. You have to shoot him in the mouth, right? So there's a lot of like quirks to these things. So these guys are actually just threat versions of the sort of special zombies, right? So the white boy from the World War II map, now this guy, he has an auto hit if you go near him, so he just hit you. It's very hard to like bait out. So he can also charge you. So I don't know what they were cooking with this game, but it's still one of my favorites. Still, I mean, sure they're like easy ones like Mangalos, you just shoot and then they just chase you with a knife and they're trying to shoot you with the tracking bullets. But you guys are nothing to joke around with still. But like there are some hard ones, right? So if you take a look at 9, there, I don't know why 9 has 4 of these guys on the map, right? So you know the tigers are here. Tigers are number one of these. Tigers are one of these, right? So why are these guys not special zombies? Well, when these guys first came out, they were terrifying. They were terrorizing these guys, man. They had the ability, he had the availability in his calendar to just like one shot you whenever he wants. Like I don't know if you remember, he just lunges and kills you straight away. So they had to nerf that a bit, but. If you remember, there is no jug in this game, so like at any point, this guy could just like lunge at you and kill you. So like, I don't know what we could do against that, right? So second one, there's these guys with blades in their hand. They jump on you as well, and they slash you to pieces, right? So that's 2 people that slash you, right, and lunge at you. So if that's not even worse, we have these gladiators. So they're slower, they're clunkier, but they throw axe at you, you do half your health. So that's just great, right? So if you're training up and you just get hit by this guy, you kind of like a death step already, right? So even if you are not even full yet, there's the 4th guy. So we've got the Blight Daddies, right? So these guys are just like bullet sponges and they can't just shoot you with stuff as well, so you kind of have to have a specialist to kill them, right? Like early rounds, you're gonna have to have a specialist, right? So these guys deserve the number 2 spot, right? So honorable mention before we move on to the number 1 spot. Kind of in between number 1 and number 2 is Spider Mini Boss from Zetsubo. I mean, it's kind of easy to kill, so I don't really have him at the next stage, but yeah, it's kind of hard. So oh yeah, okay. So number 1, Easter egg bosses, right? So these guys kind of lock these demons behind an Easter egg since there are people only insane enough to fight them, or people to do all these intricate steps, right? So let's take a look at the one from the thumbnail, okay? So giant elephant with a bindi attack. It nearly one-shot you, right? That makes sense, right? All right, so let's take a look at that's a drag. So a giant keeper with an electric field that also one-shot. So that makes sense, And then that's about it. We've got green Takio. It doesn't do much. I mean, outside of Shark, it doesn't get easy, right? So, I mean, everyone knows Mephistopheles is a hard boss fight and all, but if you take a look at the last boss fight of World War II, the little zombie king, even with the cheese there, he kind of still got us killed a bit. And when I was trying to fight with my friends, we forgot one of the steps. If you take a look at this short I attached in the top right, you can see what happened there. But the single hardest Treyarch boss fight is the 2-phase Dragon X Nikolai boss fight, man. Like, the dragon bit's easy, right? You just wait for Nikolai to shoot him in the neck, and then you just shoot it yourself, and then he just dies in it. But Nikolai himself kind of just shoots bombs at you constantly, and sends raps to follow you and blow you up. So if you take a look here, I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to hide out, and Blood is just ruining it for me, just shooting me in the payable building, right? Time's passed, and Gobblegum's kind of like trivialized all boss fights, right? So you can see here, Lenoa here. I mean, all eyes on me, or what the hell the Gobblegum's called, right? And then I just popped in and just shot him. He can't see us. So yeah. Anyways, when Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 get ported to PlayStation next month, I'm definitely going to complete this 4-player locked Easter eggs, my boys, and post them here. So yeah, hope you enjoy the video.